Coach in. Coach, what's good? You all right, Coach?
Yeah, what's going on? Y'all good?
Yeah, no, I'm great, man. I just want to give you a heads up. There are a lot of people watching this. There are people from Sacramento to Montana, from fans to journalists. I didn't know. They are hanging on every word that Coach Brennan Marion says. They are hanging on every word that Dr. Luke Woods says. They are hanging on every word leading into this game tomorrow night on ESPN. They're ready to fact check everything and come back with numbers and stats and tell us how we should have this conversation. So I just want to make it. I know you're used to high pressure situations, Coach, but this is a pretty high pressure situation for you. Coaches.
You know, Coach, I said this earlier.
Y'all couldn't see that. Coach gave that look like, I'm ready. I'm ready.
We talked about this earlier, and I was like, the great thing about all of this is none of it matters. It was what happens on that field. And we get to find out who on that day is the better team on the field, and none of the talking from each side matters up until that point. You know what I mean? Or after that point, we find out they get to settle it with the game, man. And that's what I love about all this.
Yeah, being a guy that grew up before the, social media was going crazy. I always tell the guys, it's not what you tweet, not what you Instagram, not what you it's what you do out there. What you do speaks so loud, nobody can hear what you say. So got to play the game.
And let's talk about the game, the actual game against Montana tomorrow. One thing that has been absolutely spectacular with your Hornets, Coach, is your run game. What has been the key to that? We saw something with the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday. They have been struggling to get their run game going. George Kittle returns all of a sudden. Christian McCaffrey is back to that all-pro MVP style player out of the backfield. You guys have racked up some incredible yardage on the ground. What has been the key to that so far this season, particularly the last 4 or 5 weeks or so?
Yeah, I think it's just our culture as far as our whole team is bought in on us running the ball, from the top down. Every player's like, Coach, run the ball. That's just what kind of we want to do. After the first game, we were all upset because we felt like that would be what we was our calling card, being able to run the ball, and we didn't get that done. And then every game after that, we've been running the ball at a high level. Our O-line has done a really good job under K. Rich's, teaching and tutelage, and really just taking it upon themselves. There's 4 seniors up there who said that they wanted to have a great season. And then in the backfield, we have, senior leadership as well. Rodney Hammond, who's our captain, number 2, those guys are like our culture guys. They do everything right. They're here, they're here the earliest. They stay the latest. So I think that's why we've been really successful when it talks about running the ball. And then, obviously when you can add in a quarterback who can hurt you with his legs as well, the defense has to account for him and slow down a little bit, with Cardale being able to pull the ball and run as well. Then it opens up some more lanes. But you saw last week, he had -7 yards rushing. He didn't run the ball at all. I think one time he did, and got like maybe a yard or 2 yards. And those were all handoffs, so it's really cool when it's like a pro style situation where the quarterback's not running at all. Mm-hmm. And it's just straight, big plays from just handing it off straight to the back, no reads, no triple option, no high school Harry stuff, just real downhill, handing off the ball to the back. So really proud of where we're at as far as, what we did in the past. And like I tell the players, we got to prove that every week. We got to reinvent ourselves and prove it every week. I think what makes our run game unique is that it's, uniquely different each game. We don't do the same thing all the time. I rarely call the same thing over and over again. We do multiple things. So I think that's what gives us an advantage there.
Coach, talking about that running game for a little bit more time. That running backs room that you guys have, I was talking to Sam about this last night. Man, that's got to be the deepest positional room maybe in the conference. You know what I mean? With you guys have 5, 6, 7 different running backs that we've seen over the course of this season, scoring touchdowns, making big runs. We talked about this a little bit earlier, basketball-wise, with like Keon Ellis. Is it a situation where you have to kind of keep the guys that obviously are capable of getting more playing time and getting more touches, got to keep them afloat mentally to say like, hey, you never know when your time is going to come. I know maybe you didn't get the amount of carries you wanted the last couple of games, but Sam, be ready for this 4th down, or Jaquil, get ready. This is going to be your game. How do you do that as a coach to kind of keep those guys locked in and focused with the running back room being as deep as it is?
Yeah. Like my man from Florida, rest in peace. We got the best running back room in the nation. You know what I mean? Not just, where we're at, but you got to think we got 2 guys that were all conference guys that haven't touched the ball since maybe the first or second game due to injury. So Savion Red and Jamar Curtis haven't even been out there. And so that's why you see younger guys, Damian getting a chance to run the ball, Jaquil getting a chance to run the ball. And we still got a couple guys that can run the ball who haven't touched the ball yet this year that are ready to go. I mean, like, it's like we're holding them back, you know what I mean, as far as some other guys that we have that can touch the ball. So I think in that room, they just have a really good rapport with each other. It reminds me a lot of when I was at the University of Texas, and that running back room, they just want to see each other shine. Like they're all like yelling at each other, like to score when they're in there, to make the most of their carries and make those big plays and make them happen when they get a chance to run the ball in the game. And really for us, it's just trying to, see who gets hot and give them the ball more once they get hot and get rolling. But, all those guys can go in there and make plays. I mean, we put Sam Adams in there for protection purposes. Then we check the play to him, and then boom, it's a touchdown. So like there's so many guys, when they touch the ball, big things can happen, and they're really good running backs. And we're blessed that they came to Sacramento to play for us because of what we did in the past with our running backs. Like they trusted, the scheme and the situation, the coaches to come here and play for us. But, like there's a lot of guys in that room that have juice, that can score in one play, that it can be physical runners, pound the rock, be a 25 carry type of guy, and also catch out of the backfield, and pass protect. So a lot of complete backs in that room. Coach AC's done a really good job, Coach Dub, of working with those guys and getting them to be complete running backs, not just one trick ponies. But those dudes we really got some juice in that room for sure.
Coach, this is obviously a massive game that is taking on even larger, greater conversation here over the course of the last week or so. Do your guys feel like they have something to prove tomorrow night?
Really, since the bye week, all our guys, is we let one slip away. When we started conference play against Cal Poly, they did a really good job of coming in here and getting after us. And we just had that bye week, and we all just said that our back is against the wall. We're fighting for the legacy of our team. We said one great year can change our life, and we have the opportunity to do that. The only way that we can do that is by winning out and treating every single game like a playoff game. And that's what we've done since the bye week ended. So, we talk about having to reinvent yourself every day. When you go to sleep at night, that's one. If you went 1-0 that day, did you do everything possible to go 1-0 that day? That's for us is getting up in the morning. And, I know I say this every week on the show, but that's getting up in the morning, making sure you do the hydration test and your mobility testing and stretch, eating breakfast, coming over to meetings, making sure you're alert and energized in the meetings, then going out, having a great practice, then after practice, going to class, coming back, getting treatment, going to study hall, and making sure the locker room is clean, making sure your locker's clean. And if you do that, that's going 1-0 for the day. And since the bye week, we've had 100% buy-in on everybody just going 1-0 each day. And ultimately, that's really what we're doing. We're just trying to, we're fighting for our lives. I tell these guys, like, you got to live with this record forever. We got to live with the 2025 resume that we put together as a collective group, together forever. And so everybody, when they came here, they said, we want to be winners. We want to do this and that. Well, we got to put up or shut up and make it happen. And so for us, this is the biggest game of our life this week. And we're excited for the opportunity.
Coach, 20,000 plus at Hornet Stadium last week for that game against Northern Colorado, man. It was electric out there at Hornet Stadium. Going to have another big crowd on Friday night. Do you guys feel that on the sidelines, or is it just kind of white noise? Or do you feel the energy coming from the crowd on a third down stop or a goal line stop like you got to end the game last week? Can you guys feel that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think back to, I was blessed. There was a couple schools I went to where, like 100,000 was going to show up regardless, or 50,000 was going to show up regardless of what you did on the, regardless. But when we went to UNLV, it was a lot like when we started here of, like it was like 18, not a lot of fans, and you're playing in an NFL stadium. So it really feels like there's not a lot of people in there. There wasn't a tailgate going on before the game. And we talked about our players like, man, like we're going to get this thing packed out. Like we're going to get the upper deck field. They're going to be tailgating outside from the way that you play, the product that you put on the field. And, when I talked to President Wood of taking the job, I'm like, man, we got to find a way to get the whole city of Sacramento out here. Like there's too many people in Sacramento not to have these games filled up. And, we can do concerts and we can do tailgate. We can do all this stuff to like get more fans involved and create that, that energy, because that does change the game. I mean, that's why, certain teams only play home games. They can go a whole season and only play home games. I don't know how that's possible, but some teams just play home games the whole year, that's crazy to me. But that's why they want to play home games, because you have a home field advantage, because you can pack your fans in there. You can create an environment. You put people on the road. That's hard to do with the travel and different things of, the way to navigate that. So for us, we created that environment. Now it's, trying to generate and keep that going every week. And I think as you continue to win, you continue to have big time, acts coming to perform. I think that's the standard now. Now we got to keep that rolling. That was really a great atmosphere. I was proud of Sacramento. When I looked up there, I was like, yeah, like this is what, and all the players were, they deserved that. I mean, these guys are working 6-7 days a week from January until December, January every year, right? They want to play in those big games. And it's even more special when you play in a big game at your home stadium, not going on the road to play in a big game, but you can feel that big game atmosphere in your own stadium.
Yeah.
Coach, I don't say this lightly. I have a great deal of respect for what you do. Not only do I need you to go 1-0 tomorrow, I need you to beat their ass tomorrow. I do not love the way that this week went. I don't love some of the dialogue that has been going on over the last 6-7 days. I'm gonna be out there with you.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go 1-0 tomorrow. In fact, let's go 2-0 tomorrow. Let's win. Let's do the Doug Christie. Let's win the game and the fight. Not the fight. You know what I mean, on the field.
Yeah,
I mean, let's
Therefore, what you say.
Yeah, I know. That's
Right.
Great. That's gonna get clipped.
Right. Look, unruly radio.
Look at these thugs. These thugs out here. Hey, Coach,
Oh man,
I apologize, Coach. Nah, man, we're hyped for this one tomorrow, man. We're ready.
Absolutely,
we're ready.
Yeah,
we'll be out there, Coach. You need us to do something, man. We ready.
Need me on the kickoff team, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I run down there on the kickoff team one time.
We ready.
I just need y'all to bring the crew with y'all. Just fill the seats up, baby. Bring them out.
Coming.
Yes, indeed.
We coming. Good luck, Coach. We appreciate you, man. We're excited for tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Stingers up. Appreciate it.
What's up, baby?